The RBA actually increased the cash rate target. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee because, well, something that hasn't happened in a decade just occurred. The Reserve Bank of Australia increased their cash rate target by 25 basis points. You remember how we were all told the cash rate will be low until 2024, and how none of us trust the Reserve Bank, so we all locked in our mortgage at really low rates? Well, we've now been vindicated, guys, because they actually did it. They actually did it. They increased the cash rate target. Let's have a look at this statement. And wait, but before we'll do that, we'll jump over here to this screen because this is the chart now, and you can see that little tiny bump there. There we go. They've actually increased it. So the last time they increased the rate was when right back here, 2010, everyone. In 2010. I'm going to have to update my picture that I refer to for the cash rate. Oh, boy, it's been so long. So, at its meeting today, the board decided to increase the cash rate target by 25 basis points to 35 basis points. Now, remember, 300 basis points, 3%, used to be considered an emergency rate to give them breathing room. It also increased the interest rate on exchange settlement balances from 0% to 25 basis points. The board judged that now was the right time to begin withdrawing some of the extraordinary monetary support that was put in place to help the Australian economy during the pandemic. The economy has proven to be resilient. Well, of course it is. If there's just one little thing I want to draw your attention to, maybe if you pour bucket loads of money into the economy, that'll make it be resilient. Yeah, just maybe. So, inflation has picked up more quickly and to a higher level than was expected. There's also evidence that wages growth is picking up. Now, I just need to show. I need to show this chart here, guys, about previous forecasts for wage price index growth from the RBA from 2011 to 2017. They've gotten it wrong. So, do we trust them? You tell me in the comments. Given this and the very low level of interest rates, it is appropriate to start the process of normalizing monetary conditions. The resilience of the Australian economy is particularly evident in the labour market, with the unemployment rate declining over recent months to 4% and labour force participation increasing to a record high. Now this, for all the debt and the pain that the government has caused, hopefully it's worth it because we haven't had the economic scarring with the younger generation. That's you don't want young people forced out of the economy and broken and not able to get back in. That was the one thing I was very scared of. Us old dodger, fuddy-duddies, we're a bit more resilient. The younger people, they may not get a chance back in. Because remember, we've got all these impediments to people starting a business or getting a job. So both job vacancies and job ads are also at high levels. The central forecast, because they have a low forecast, a high forecast, this is the central, is for the unemployment rate to decline to around 3.5% by early 2023 and to remain around this level thereafter. This would be the lowest rate of unemployment in almost 50 years. I mean, that's... I was talking to my Steely today. He's going, do you know anyone that needs work? So it's this funny situation where it's booming, it's going crazy, particularly in construction, but some people aren't making any more money. The outlook for economic growth, and I've got a video to talk about that later. The outlook for economic growth in Australia also remains positive, although there are ongoing uncertainties about the global economy arising from the ongoing disruptions from COVID-19, especially in China, the war in Ukraine, and declining consumer purchasing power from higher inflation. What about higher interest rates? The central forecast is for the Australian GDP to grow by 4.25% over 2022 and 2% over 2023. Household and business balance sheets are generally in good shape. An upswing in business investment is underway, and there is a large pipeline of construction work to be completed. Macroeconomic policy settings remain supportive of growth, and national income is being boosted by higher commodity prices. We're getting lucky again, everyone. Australia's getting lucky again. Let's you know what? Let's just jump over here. Trading economics. What's iron ore at? I haven't looked at it in a while, guys. Commodities, gold and silver. Iron ore, $142. Boy. Yep. Inflation has also picked up significantly, and by more than expected, although it remains lower than in most advanced economies. Over the year to the March quarter, highline inflation was 5.1%, and in underlying terms, inflation was 3.7%. This rise in inflation largely reflects global factors, but domestic capacity constraints are increasingly playing a role, and inflation pressures have broadened, with firms more prepared to pass through cost increases to consumer prices. A further rise in inflation is expected in the near term, but as supply side disruptions are resolved, inflation is expected to decline back to the target range of 2 to 3%. The central forecast for 2022 is for highline inflation to be around 6% and the underlying inflation around 4.75% by mid-2024. Highline and underlying inflation are forecast to moderate to around 3%. So write down this prediction from the RBA, everyone. 3% by 2024. Now, we know they were so accurate with their forecast for the cash rate target, which they can control, so I'm sure they're 100% accurate with their inflation predictions. I'm certain. These assumptions are based on these forecasts are based on an assumption of further increases in interest rates. So there you go. They're just going to keep increasing, everyone. It's all out the window. Now, we've had time to prepare for this. I hope people have. I'm sure a lot of viewers of the channel already have. And we're starting to see some ABC articles already appearing about people bitching and moaning about, I'll go through it later, probably tomorrow or the day after, about, complaining, oh, I can't believe I was led so much. I mean, it's already starting, already blaming others for their problems. The bank's business liaison suggests that wages growth has been picking up. In a tight labour market, an increasing number of firms are paying higher wages to attract and retain staff, especially in an environment where the cost of living is rising. While aggregate wages growth was subdued during 2021 and no higher than it was prior to the pandemic, the more timely evidence from liaison and business surveys is that larger wage increases are now occurring in many private sector firms. Given both the progress towards full employment and the evidence on prices and wages, some withdrawal of the extraordinary monetary support provided through the pandemic is appropriate. Consistent with this, the board does not plan to reinvest the proceeds of maturing government bonds and expects the bank's balance sheet to decline significantly over the next couple of years as the term funding facility comes to an end. The board is not currently planning to sell the government bonds that the bank purchased during the pandemic. The board is committed to doing what is necessary to ensure that inflation in Australia returns to target over time. This will require a further lift in interest rates over the period ahead. The board will continue to closely monitor the incoming information and evolving balance of risks as it determines the timing and extent of future interest rate increases. A media and marketing briefs, 4 p.m. Okay, and we can broadcast it live. Maybe we should live stream it on the channel here. We'll see. I've actually got some work to do today, so no. Maybe we'll see. So guys, let's have a talk about this one. So who is surprised that they actually did it? They actually did it before an election, increased the cash rate target. There you go. They did. Honestly, I'm a little surprised. I thought they would have chickened out and held off until after the election, but there you go. It's happened. Interest rates are creeping up. So make sure you all let me know in the comments when the interest rate on your deposit goes up. So that should all happen today, shouldn't it? We should be going higher than 0.1 if you jump through 50 million bloody hoops. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to keep an eye on these mortgage rates. Next thing to keep an eye on is consumer confidence. If this is going to have an impact on consumer confidence. The stock market, we've already seen, it's looking pretty hairy. Everything's in the red at the moment. My favorite investment, AussieBroadband, has gotten hammered. I'll do a video on that one too, but I'm in it long term, so it doesn't really matter. But still, exciting times, guys. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this. Did anyone bet on it? Have you won some money today? You can shout the drinks. Thanks for watching. If you're a fan of the channel and want to help out, there are a few ways you can. You can watch, subscribe, and share the videos. You can financially support us via YouTube or Patreon. Use any of our referral links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. Or if you need architectural services, give us a call. We've got a lot of education, commercial, and resource sector experience. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. And damn, it happened. I've got to update my chart, my cash flow chart. Where is it? Where's that chart? There. We'll look at it one last time. Goodbye, old friend. Goodbye, old friend. It's been a while. Here we go. Now people will learn what